Well, nobody wants to think about leaving their loved ones behind when they pass away. However, making sure you have a will that details all of your wishes about how you want things handled when you're gone can make a tough time for your family a little bit easier. Attorney Jim Higgins with the Higgins Firm recently stopped by to go over some important factors to consider when writing a will. Take a look. All right, Jim, I know you help a lot of people draft their wills. So are there any certain issues that come up during this process? What do you see?
Well, of course we always talk about what's the best estate plan for you, financially and things like that. But there's always a few key questions that we always go over with folks, and I think it's something they should think about before they come in. So if you're coming in to see us to set up your wills and the estate process, you really want to think about who you want your executor to be. Your executor or executrix or administrator, they are the person who makes sure that all your property gets distributed and the people get what they're supposed to get and the bills are getting paid. And so you want to get somebody that you really trust. I mean, often it's our spouse or our children, but you also want to have a conversation with that person. I've had people bring in wills before that they didn't know they were going to be the executor and they didn't want to do it, and that's hard. So you make sure that they're good with taking over that role. And you want to pick someone too that the entire family feels good about. You never want to put someone in a bad spot with that.
Okay, so have those conversations and do a little bit of planning before you draft your will. So what
Sure.
else do we need to know during that process?
Yeah, we always want to make sure people understand if you're just doing a simple will and we're not setting up a trust for you, there are things like not all assets actually go through a will. For instance, if you have life insurance and you've got a named beneficiary, that won't go through your will. So make sure that it matches what you want. Joint bank accounts don't go through. Real estate often doesn't go through. So we always sit down and talk about, hey, your will's going to cover all this, but it's not going to do these things. So let's make sure that your bank account's going where it's supposed to, and your property, and those type things. The other thing that's always truly key, and why we really, most of us do the wills to start with, is children. We will set up a lot of times what we call a spendthrift trust. If I inherited money when I was 18 years old, probably not a great thing. I doubt I would have spent it on stuff that was too smart, right? So if that unfortunately happens, usually when we set up a will, we'll put provisions in there that will say, all right, your children aren't going to get this money as soon as they turn 18, which is really the important reason to have a will too. If you don't, that's what happens.
Right.
And we can set it out in all sorts of different structures. They can get it every 5 years. They can get a little bit a month until they hit a certain age. I always tell people there's some point at some age that you've got to say, all right, if my kid hadn't gotten it by now, they're never going to. There's some point where you say, hey, when they hit this age, whatever's remaining, I'm just going to have to trust them with it, and it's going to go with them there.
Good advice there. Okay, before we go, when should somebody contact you if they need help during this process? I mean, a will is something everybody needs. Do you often see people who don't have them?
Oh, yes. It's just one of those things that's so easy to put off, right? But you need it. And it's really not that expensive. We try to make it easy. You need a will, you need powers of attorney, just some simple documents. And we do so much for our families that you should really do it. Just call us today and we can tell you what's involved and help you walk through what best tools are out there for you.
All right, I know you make it easy for folks. Jim, thanks so much.
Thank you.
The Higgins Firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 1-800-705-2121 or go to thehigginsfirm.com.